Hey, this is Tim. Today is Thursday, October 20, 2011, and we're going to be looking at the pond build and see how it's coming along. And while we're over here, I just wanted to show you, this is my flow through right here. Out of my pond, I'm flowing this much water all day long, and it's being replaced with pre-filtered, with the carbon filter, pre-filtered water. And we'll see how we did that here in a minute. But the biggest thing you'll see is we added a overhang to the entire work area, over the pond, over the shower, as well as kind of built a little patio and deck area. Coming to the back, you'll see the filtration area, and what we have is two 55-gallon sand gravel filters. These are the Birdman style design. I did do mine a little bit differently. Instead of using just a removable cup for the drain and for the well, for both the drains, I just put valves on mine. And so basically this valve right here goes to the TPR. I can just shut this off, open up this valve right here, and then I'm flushing the unit. To flush the unit, I have that on both of these units, by the way. To flush the unit, I'm using a 2 horsepower spa blower. A little bit big for my needs. I could have gotten away with 1.5 horse. But what I've done is put a bleed valve on here. So I already have this dialed in right now, but this right here is the actual valve that goes to the sand gravel filters. This is just an air bleed. The way I have it plumbed is it's mounted up there, higher than the water level, of course. And for my application, it actually goes down through the ground and pops up underneath the sand gravel filters. Right there is actually the air manifold that I do the flushing with. So for me to flush the sand gravel filters, it's a matter of me turning on the blower and simply opening up this valve, and I'm flushing away. Close it off when I'm done. And this is the valve to the other filter. Fairly straightforward. I'm really happy with the sand gravel design. Keeps my water very clean. I just flushed 2 days ago, so you can see how clear the water is, and this is 2 days later. And here's the other unit. Now, for my flow through and for my water change water, when I flush the sand gravels, I lose about 300 to 350 gallons per barrel. And to replace that water, attached to the water plumbing, attached to the PVC plumbing coming out to my office here, what I've done is install a whole house carbon filter. Got this at Lowe's for about 50 bucks, 60 bucks, something like that. And what this does is this uses a simple carbon filter right here to remove the chlorine and chloramines from the water. That's my primary objective. Real simple to use, 3/4 inch PVC fitting right here, brings the water in. The water goes out this side right here. And what I've done for simplicity, when I change the carbon filters, you want to flush them for about 5 minutes to remove any carbon dust that may have happened during shipping. So you want to be able to flush that. I just attach a valve right there so I can flush the new carbon filters. This pipe right here goes to one of my returns going to my pond, and off my sand gravel I have this little airport right here, just a little breather, and that's the gurgling noise you kind of hear in the background, and that kind of prevents it from doing a siphoning effect. But what I've done is just simply attach my fresh water, my dechlorinated water, and it just pipes right in here and goes directly to the pond, so the new water never is exposed over the biological surface area. It goes directly into the pond. Another thing I did here, I did put a shelf right here for all my accumulated junk, and got the Meadow 80 pump mounted up here, of course higher than water level. It's my ballast for the 400 watt halide. I do have a 400 watt metal halide lamp above my shower there, where I grow some aeroponic plants, and we'll take a look at that here in a sec. the heart of the unit here, I would say, would be the sieve here. And I just cleaned my sieve yesterday, and you can see how many leaves it's already collected here today. And I have a cover on there because it does splash a little bit of water, and if I don't have that cover on there, it does splash a little water out of the unit. You can see my water level's running pretty high. I forced more water through this unit than it was designed to do, but you can see the water kind of splashing out right there. So this is the easy mechanism. I put this little cover right there, and when the power gets shuts off and the weir rises, it simply just pushes that cover right out of the way, and actually it just settles right back down into place. So no big deal. Down here to clean the debris, I just have a little filter pit here with a basket that sits on a 3-gallon bucket, and I just removed that black cap right there and flush the sieve. Pretty simple mechanism. I am going to put a knife valve on there that's going to go through the hole right here, through the wood, and that'll save me a little bit of effort as well. But I did do some nice things, put some valves in places where I thought they could be used. Of course, a check valve coming right off the pump right there, so the sand from the sand gravel won't back up into the pump. There's a swing check valve right there, along with the union ball valve. I did use kind of a cheaper, well, actually it's probably more expensive, but I needed it that day, so I bought one of these valves here at Lowe's, and goes from a skimmer basket. This pump right here feeds my sand gravel filters, and it comes from my skimmer. There's my skimmer box over there. We'll go take a look at that in a sec. Here's how the shower's doing. Another nice little feature I did right here for the shower is I just put a simple hose valve on here, so if I wanted to flush water out of the pond, for me doing a water change, actually when I flush the sand gravel filters, I can only do one at a time because I will take out too much water of the pond and the skimmer pump will cavitate. So to further get more water, if I wanted to ever exchange more water, I can open this valve up right here and use the pump from the sieve to pump the water out. And here's the shower. It's doing pretty well. It's starting to get cold this time of the year here, and so I'm starting to see a couple of these caladiums die off here. But what I'll do is I'll go through and pick out and remove any of the dead stuff. But they've done really well. All these guys right here are all brand new sprouts, and they grow aeroponically. There's no soil or anything in here. Creeping Jenny has done very well. I'm pretty happy with how that plant performed. Caladiums did pretty good. Lasted a good while. Now it's getting a little cooler. They're wilting and dying off, so again I'll prune those back. But other than that, doing pretty good. I don't know what they call it. I think that's like the purple African queen or something, but that plant's done very well. Really happy with that. And the purple on that right there is absolutely amazing. Once I installed the metal halide, I really saw the purple in that just absolutely go nuts. So that's a pretty plant there once you get that nice lavender purple in there. Going over here to the skimmer. I usually don't take this route, I go around, but just want to show you what we got. For the skimmer, I have installed a bulkhead right here, just drilled it into the side. And this is the drain line that we saw earlier in the video, and that's how much water that I actually flow through per day. It translates to about 100 to 150 gallons a day. Sometimes if I see it's producing too much, I kind of tell by the puddle it's leaving, and I'll back it down a little bit, and sometimes I'll raise it up a little bit. And what I've done on the inside here is just install on the other side of the bulkhead a 90 fitting so you can adjust the water level height in your pond. Drill the bulkhead low because you can always use an adjustable standpipe to raise the water level. And what I want you to notice is look how clear that water has gotten up top there. I've noticed that once I installed this flow through and I have this little standpipe up top, a lot of the oil and a lot of the fine sediments, a lot of the dusts that settle on the very top of the water have been removed. And I'm getting this nice clear water on the top with no pollen, no dust, and kind of no oils. Especially after you feed the fish, that little oil that the fish food has, it kind of goes right down that drain right there, which is very nice. So kind of enjoying that. We'll wander further through here. Picked up a couple of these plants here at the bonsai auction, and they were only $5. and the person had been growing them for about 6-7 years, I believe, and they have not been really, they've been trained but not really pruned very much. But I picked them up and I pruned them up, got them into shape for this year. For right now, I'm not going to do too much work to them. I didn't want to, cut them bald, so we're gonna play with these for a little bit. But I got a nice little setup here. That was kind of cool. Here's the other one I got over here. See if we can get a little shot further there of that. Here's the quarantine pond I've been telling you about on the pond forum, and not doing so swell. I don't think it's necessarily the quarantine pond itself, but I think some of the fish are just beyond my being able to help them. But we're not going to talk about them on this video. Coming around, I think you guys remember how it used to look. This is how it looks now. Got my boy's Cadillac in the driveway there. But there's how the pond looks. We did add this whole deck and pergola there and a little patio. I am going to put a brick patio right here in the front. Actually, it's going to be about the same size as this wood deck, so it's going to be a pretty extensive area. It's going to have a fire pit and a barbecue and that kind of stuff, so should be pretty nice. Come up to where the main viewing area is right here. So there's my two fish right there that I have. I believe that's a Denrin Yamabuki, and I believe some sort of Tancho Goshiki, I believe. And you can see how clear the water looks. You can see there's my bottom drain right there, and this is a 6-foot deep pond. The white sediment you're seeing on the bottom is, I've noticed that the shower, as the rock gets pulverized from the shower, it actually trickles back in here into the pond. And I could tell that because only in the area by the shower is that sediment located. The further you go from the shower, the less sediment there is. So it's definitely coming from the shower area there. But no big deal. We'll see if it gets algae covered up here, or if maybe in the springtime I may get a vacuum out or kind of push it into the bottom drain and get siphoned out. But that's pretty much what we got. Maybe the fish will come up. There's Pearl. And they're doing good. I've had the fish die in quarantine, but then again, that's the reason why you put them in quarantine, is so they don't affect your main pond fish. And these fish are doing great and have no problems. So I'm pretty happy that my quarantine system actually did its purpose and at least isolated any illnesses. But we'll talk more later on the pond. Just wanted to give you the update. Toodles.